Senior lecturer, Alemkeng Richard. Good morning.
Good morning.
A pleasure to meet you. How are you doing today?
Fine, George. You're welcome.
Thank you. So I flew all the way from Germany to come to Cameroon for a reason. This icon, Professor Bernard Fonlon. You can see he's an icon in this country. The first English-speaking Cameroonian to have a PhD in 1961. I discovered that the first French was Archbishop Jean. He had his PhD in 1953. So he's the first Cameroonian. Archbishop Jean is the first Cameroonian and the first French-speaking Cameroonian to have a PhD. While Fonlon is the first English-speaking Cameroonian to have a PhD. Tell us more about this man, lecturer Alemkeng Richard. You were in Yaoundé at the time. Did you ever meet him? See him?
I did not meet him in the faculty.
Okay.
As I didn't meet Dr. Bernard Fonlon in the faculty. But I had a glimpse of what he was doing from 1981 when I was taught by some indigenous of the Fonlon.
Okay.
In Our Lady Seat of Zion College. They often quoted Bernard Fonlon.
Okay.
And that aroused my curiosity to find out who the man was.
I see.
So by the time I was in the university,
yes.
Fonlon has died on the 21st of August 1986, I think so.
Oh my God.
And then
okay.
And then it was just left for us now to find out
yes
about his life, his works, and how what we can think of him.
I see.
Because his legacy remains at large.
Yes, as you noted it in your tribute to him.
Exactly. Fonlon, you know, when a child is born, schools with a mission.
Okay.
Goes to a mission secondary school.
Yes.
Moves to the seminary.
Yes.
Yes. Then your life has been, what do I say? Your life will be transformed.
Okay.
Will be transformed. When I look at this book, Socrates in Cameroon, in the past I've had a lot of problems with people on media platform.
Okay.
Yes. When I tell people that I can compare Socrates with Jesus Christ.
Okay.
And when I tell people that Jesus has been doing what Socrates has already done, and then many people seem to be angry with me.
Okay.
But I think by the time many people go on research,
yes, they
discover that apart from being Christ, yes, or apart from just being Christ was human.
He was
divine
and human.
Yeah, he was divine and human. And then Fonlon,
yes,
Fonlon for us should not only be a Socrates, but should be a form of a model.
Exactly.
Of a real model, not of a real model that Cameroonians can copy.
Okay.
Not today we live in a Cameroon where things are upside down.
That's true.
Yes, lies, cacophony,
okay,
egoism, self-centeredness have swept the society. Now, coming back to Fonlon, we find that somebody who grew up,
yes,
and was influenced by the Middle missionaries,
exactly,
yes, to become
a
priest. But unfortunately, his vision could not go through.
That's true.
By the time he was in the major seminary in Nigeria.
Yes.
But when it couldn't go through, he decided to live as a priest
in society.
In the society.
That's
and you will see that philosophy as a subject,
pictures.
Philosophy as a subject,
yes,
and as a world vision. Yes, because I think Fonlon Fonlon lived according to the third definition of philosophy. Okay. That means as philosophy being an attitude to life.
Okay.
Yes.
It's not just learning things.
No, not learning things. An attitude to life. And that attitude to life could be seen in all of what he did from the 1960s. I want to talk. I want to look at Fonlon in his public in his
public life.
In his public life.
Okay.
Yes, because as a man who worked with a Hijo, as our first president.
Yes.
He served as minister, as a deputy minister of foreign affairs.
Later minister of communication.
Communication, P&T, and the rest.
Wow.
And then we never heard of things like embezzlement, corruption, and I wouldn't even go to that. I would try to think that philosophy played a very big role in his life.
That's why I'm here. That's why I came to see you, because you're an expert in philosophy. Before I continue, dear viewers, our highly esteemed lecturer, Mr. Alemkeng, was born in Jere, Le Bank-Fontaine subdivision, in the Southwest Province in 1968. He recently celebrated his 52nd birthday. Happy birthday once more.
Thank you very much.
So Mr. Alemkeng attended GS Fontaine and GS Bamenda Station from 1974 to 1981. He attended Seat of Wisdom College Fontaine and FHSS Kumba, where he obtained the GCE O-level certificate. He obtained his advanced level in Kaskumba. Sorry. He entered the University of Yaoundé in 1989, where he obtained a bachelor degree in philosophy, and presently he's a postgraduate student in the same university. No, not today. I think he's a doctorate candidate. This book was published long ago. So he's presently a doctorate candidate in philosophy.
No, mass communication.
He's an expert in mass communication, in the right way of communicating. That's why when he talks of cacophony, he has been observing that people just keep talking. They don't use social media in the right way. So if we continue, in that same university, he specialized in moral and political philosophy. He's married with 3 daughters. He's currently he was a staff of GBH in Bengui. I visited Bengui when he was there. He's also the author of many books. He's a prolific writer. He has published many books. For example, Past GCE Questions on Plato, The Republic, Book 1 and 2. He's also a seasoned GCE examiner. Beginning Philosophy is an introduction to the study of philosophy. It covers Western philosophy, African philosophy, some fundamental problems of philosophy, and provides students with a methodology of philosophical essays. And finally, it prepares GCE candidates with past GCE questions and guided answers. So this is a book he published in 2003. Wow, congratulations. So he has published many other books. He has delivered so many conferences, lectures on the religion of Mary. He's also a good Christian. In fact, he was my baptism, confirmation, Holy Communion teacher. Thanks to him, I was able to know what God is, who God is, and I was able to know what the church is. So I'm very happy to be with an expert today in philosophy. And purposely, I came purposely because Fonlon wrote in many of his books that philosophy shaped his way of thinking and that influenced his life. How do you think that is possible?
It is very, very possible. You know, I will take the aspect of systematic philosophy.
Yes.
Voila. In systematic philosophy, we study notions.
I see.
We study theories. That have been propounded by former philosophers.
That's true.
And when you copy them and put them into practice, voila, they shape your life. And I would like to tell you that Socrates, for example, is the only person whose lifestyle has influenced all of the youths, generations since he lived. Yes.
Wow.
Just like Jesus' lifestyle has influenced the world, Socrates' lifestyle has influenced that of the youths across the world.
Interesting.
And I think it is in this vision that Fonlon has to follow.
So let's go to metaphysics, Professor Richard. Is metaphysics is that it is metaphysics that is philosophy in the strictest sense of the term. Philosophy, therefore, is the science of being as being, the science which treats of the principles and causes and qualities. So, from what Archbishop Paul Vezekov wrote here, he said that Fonlon's life was persuaded by his philosophical formation, and that affected his personal attitude to life, which cannot be properly understood without an awareness of the philosophical studies that he pursued between 1948 and 50.
It comes back to what I already told you.
Yes.
That when somebody moves to the seminary,
yes,
study philosophy,
okay,
take theology, and he is bound to pick up
okay,
a life model.
Yes.
That will shape his own life.
I see.
And you find that Fonlon took the model of Socrates.
Exactly. That's why he's referred as Socrates.
From the way I'm seeing, he took the model of Socrates. You know, Socrates, at times many people seem not to understand him.
Okay.
Because
why did they seem not to understand him?
Because his own ways, many people accuse philosophers of being too abstract.
Okay.
But I don't think they are abstract. Yes, they aren't abstract just because we don't move into the fora of politics.
Yes. Where
they take things for granted.
Okay.
Nothing is taken for granted. And from our readings of the books written on Socrates by Plato and the rest, yes, you find that he could stand on the same spot for about 6 hours.
Exactly.
Meditating, contemplating, and thinking of what life is all about.
Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting, Professor Richard. So there's another thing. Philosophy coupled with theological studies, his philosophical studies coupled with his theological studies, in which he was deeply engaged for a further 3 years, gave his mind, as he himself testified, a turn and bend and discipline which few other studies are able to instill.
You know that there is what many people lack. Okay. You have preachers in the church,
yes,
pastors and the rest.
Yes.
I've often said it time and again.
Okay.
Yes, that to have a grip, to be strong, to be able,
yes,
to talk about the absolute.
Wow.
Talk about the absolute, you must have studied plenty of philosophy.
Okay.
And study plenty of theology.
Wow.
With these two in common, yes, in place,
yes,
then you are going to have a grip of what God is. Okay. And when you have a grip of what God is, yes, then we say commonly that the fear of the Lord begins coming to you. Okay. And once the fear of the Lord is there, then your character
automatically
changes, and it does not reflect that of the others that you find in society.
What did you pass through the philosophy?
Exactly.
Okay. I see.
Because philosophy is like for me it's like it's an evolution.
Okay.
Now when you go into it, you evolve in it.
I see.
And then it transforms you.
Wow.
Yes, it transforms you.
Yes.
To something else, which is not a bad transformation, okay, but it's a good one for the world.
I see.
Of which many seems not to understand.
Wow. Let's go to scholastic philosophy. According to the content of scholastic philosophy, it comprises several sciences: logic, cosmology, and psychology, ethics or moral philosophy, and metaphysics. It seems that it was metaphysics, the philosophical science, having as its object being as being, which had the most profound influence on Professor Benan's life and works. So thoroughly did he absorb and assimilate this discipline, and so profoundly was his mind shaped by its principles that he was able to apply to the commonest everyday problems with admirable clarity of exposition and cogency of argument. Such metaphysical principles and notions as act and potency, the transcendentals, unum, verum, bonum, pulchrum, the categories of Aristotle, and casuality. In fact, in Benner's words, it is metaphysics that is philosophy in the strictest sense of the term. So Bernard talks about how metaphysics influenced him and how scholastic philosophy. So what can you comment on that?
I think every person who has been to the major seminary,
yes,
should have something to do with scholastics.
Okay.
The scholastics is that school of thought.
Yes.
That came up after the Aristotle,
okay,
and began structuring the church.
I see.
And then you should equally know that Father Paul,
yes,
Father Paul was talking about metaphysics and the rest.
Yes.
But I think Fonlon
yes,
has been influenced more by logic.
that's true.
The logic. You know, logic is what fixes the other aspect of philosophy.
Okay.
Without logic, no, it will not go.
You can't argue.
Logic is the soup with which you eat the other parts of philosophy.
Wow.
And today, logic is the soup with which you consume other subjects.
Okay.
Yes, you find that a student who has not studied logic,
yes, cannot argue well.
You know, cannot argue well. Cannot they cannot argue well. There will always be lapses.
Okay.
Exactly. So Fonlon.
Yes,
Fonlon. Once you are an Aristotelian.
Yes.
What the central the turning point,
yes,
of Aristotle thinking pattern is logic.
Okay.
But it is logic that clarifies your thought.
Okay.
It is logic that is the logic that puts things in the order that they have to be.
Okay.
Yes, because you may say being as being.
Yes.
But if not put in a logical form,
okay, it will not be understood.
It will not be understood.
So I now see why Fonlon recommended that philosophy should be taught in all schools, even in the universities. It should be a subject for everyone.
In 2000 and
yeah. Can you take the baby out?
In 2008,
yes,
I made a publication
okay,
on why every student should study philosophy.
Okay. What did you say there? Could we know?
Yes, and why every student should study philosophy.
So you're in line with Professor Fonlon.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because it is a subject that ushers the way.
Okay, to others.
Yes, to others. It ushers the way for knowledge to flow. Yes, it prepares the way. It gives you the passage.
Okay.
And then philosophy and logic.
Yes.
We can define them as something that clarifies the language.
Okay.
Yes. Without it, language is not understood.
Wow.
Yes. Language is understood better when logic and philosophy comes in.
I see. So I now understand why people enjoy Fonlon's writings. He was writing whenever he wrote, it was logical and clear.
You will see that when I wrote this book,
yes,
people thought it was for students.
Okay.
But many people who did not go to school,
yes,
who were working in offices, had to read this book.
You see,
because philosophy is for public consumption.
Okay.
It's for public
consumption. Not only for priests.
No, not only for priests. And for students to survive well in school,
yes,
you need to understand, read, and understand philosophy.
Okay.
Because it equally helps them to understand other subjects.
I see.
It is the gateway,
okay,
to the other subjects. Because it exploits the different domains of knowledge.
Wow.
It gives them the different perspective of knowledge.
That's true.
Because in some areas, they tell you that our knowledge comes from experience.
Yes.
Others tell you that our knowledge is inborn.
That's true.
But when you come to philosophy,
yes, it
will give you all the avenues,
okay,
from which our knowledge comes from.
Wow.
I think Fonlon,
yes,
his influence is not only his influence of philosophy is not only on his public life.
Okay.
Yes, he has played a big role in the Southland.
Okay.
I think the number of intellectuals we have in the Southland
are so many, countless.
Yes, really countless. But they were fighting to imitate
the man who began.
The man who began.
Wow.
I think he set the pace
for others. And for
Cameroonians as a whole.
Okay.
And today, if we are going back to exploit all what he did,
yes,
I think it is to open up
That's to open up the treasures he left.
The treasure he left, so that the Cameroonians who are being born today can copy and follow. Because if the books were not written on Socrates,
yes, we would not have known who Socrates was.
Because you don't know book.
Exactly, I was told it was written by his students.
The students, Plato, Aristotle. Voila. He wrote no book.
No book.
Same for Christ. Christ wrote no book.
Exactly.
What book did they
Christ only spoke and taught.
He spoke and taught.
Okay, then the evangelists came and
it is Paul, Matthew,
exactly.
Who came up now to write, to put down in writing
what had happened,
what Christ was saying.
Okay.
And I think that is the model that the world has set for us.
That's true.
And such models are very few.
Very few.
They hardly even exist.
Very few.
So today, our aim now is to propagate this ideology of
writing,
documenting. Okay. And one thing we have to do is to make known Fonlon.
That's true.
At all costs.
I see.
At all costs. Because our society today is decaying.
It is.
Cameroon is decaying. We are faced with what we call a senseless war in the two Anglophone regions.
Yes.
I think if the thinking pattern of Fonlon
is followed
or put in place,
right.
Yes, I think we will live in a peaceful nation.
Peaceful.
Yes. He was sent out of the seminary.
Yes.
He didn't get angry.
No.
He continued his life.
And
he worked for the government.
Exactly, and he was sent out of the government too.
He was sent out of the government.
Of his philosophical principles.
Because he could not accept to live
a double life.
And a luxurious life.
Exactly.
And those are
wasting resources of the state.
Those are the models that we need for today.
Okay.
Because today we have poorer people in the country, a poor society, where children are delivered without parents. Children are dying children are dying of hunger, while others are savagely rich. Having even automatic pay machine in their homes.
Can you imagine?
And then I think
quite a disequilibrium.
A disequilibrium has been created.
Okay.
But if we
follow the footsteps of
Fonlon, our society may change.
Okay.
We change, not may. We change.
We'll change automatically.
And I would think, I would suggest in this interview that some of his writings be simplified.
Okay.
And put at the level of the ordinary level.
Okay, exactly.
The ordinary level literature.
Good.
Advanced level literature.
Yeah.
So that they can shape the new generations. You find that when we went to school, we read Chino Achebe.
Exactly.
Things Fall Apart.
Yeah.
The Burning Grass by Stephen Ekwensi and the
Crown of Thorns.
The Crown of Thorns. And Sassoon.
Yes.
All those books changed those generations. But today, what do we find?
We don't have.
People don't write. We don't respect ethics. Our ethics has died down.
Okay.
And this comes from the fact that the type of books that you read in school, in literature, are no longer there.
Okay.
Yes, because because to teach a literature book, you first of all you teach the lifestyle of the bibliography of the author, and that rings a bell in the head of the learner.
That's true.
And I think this is why Fonlon should be brought back to the limelight.
Okay, I'm very happy to talk about you. Spoke about that.
Yes, we brought back to the limelight.
Thank you so much for that wonderful intervention. Talk to us a bit more about this book, Professor Richard. Talk to us more about this book. Can you give us a summary of the book? For those who have not read this book, please make sure you get a copy. Where can they get copies?
They used to be at the Balangwa Bookshop in Bamayo, but I'm about to make. I'm about to. No, I've already made I've already made another edition of the book.
Okay.
But it's not yet in the market.
Okay.
So it was a beginning philosophy for Cameroon schools.
Yes.
That I wrote in 2003.
Okay.
And this book has trained close to
can imagine.
400 teachers in
400 teachers.
Yes.
Not to talk of students.
No, students. By the time I wrote this book, there was practically no English book in philosophy.
Okay.
Yes, there was some Anglophone book in philosophy.
You have had a lot of experience as a senior philosophy lecturer.
Exactly.
Since the 90s, eh?
As I went to the university,
yes,
we were taught in French.
Okay.
And then most of the books that were in the university were all in French. It is in 1990 something.
Okay.
I think the mid-90s when Dr. Alemkeng was going to Nigeria.
Okay.
Yes, and asked him to buy me some books.
Oh.
Asked him to buy me any book.
Okay.
He finds in English in philosophy in Nigeria and bring.
Wow, and he did.
Yes, so when he promised us some of the books, that's when I started now trying. I began to decompose all the ideas and put it together, and all these notions of that we used to hear all the Aristotle, Socrates, Platon.
Exactly.
And when they sing in your ears, you begin to doubt, even though you are understanding the concept.
The content.
Exactly.
Oh, so you were the one who began to translate.
Exactly. So when I had those books from Nigeria like that,
yes,
I went into writing.
Wow.
But today I've written more books on mass communication.
Wow.
than
on philosophy.
Than on philosophy.
Why did you move to mass communication?
I moved to mass communication because of the difficulties in the progress of Anglophones in the university.
Okay.
Yes, this was a very clear thing.
Okay.
And I think up to now, I don't think we have had 3 Anglophones who have defended PhD in philosophy in University of Yaoundé.
Can you imagine?
Yes. It's by now that things have become a bit easy.
So what was the problem?
No, the normal problems of how do I say?
Bureaucracy.
The bureaucracy and the fact that English was not not considered as a.
Can you imagine that?
Anglophone. No, Anglophone were not considered.
Oh my God.
Yes, even at the level of when we're in year 1.
Okay.
We used to have a lecturer.
Yes.
Who would tell us that je suis né avant le bilinguisme.
Can you imagine that?
Voilà. Donc, si vous pouvez écrire même dans un faux français,
je vais dire. I remember Fonlon spoke against this. He got an article on bilingualism.
That is why I wanted to say that and go about the Fonlon.
Okay.
To say that Fonlon said for us to have a good Cameroon.
Yes.
Bilingualism must be put into place and practice
from the primary school.
Yes,
he said.
From the primary school.
Yes, from the beginning.
Practice it to the top.
In all levels, at all levels.
To the top.
Because that was a physical university. It means English and French ought to be respected.
Ought to be respected.
So that was what shifted you from philosophy.
That is it. That is what made us to
go into other
to move into other areas of studies.
Okay.
Other than philosophy because of the fact that we're considered as second-class citizens.
That's terrible in your own country.
In my own country, because I prepared a thesis for maîtrise entitled Power Conservation, Machiavelli.
Wow, interesting.
Yes, no. And in the maîtrise, I was doing political and moral philosophy. No?
Wow.
Voilà.
Interesting.
So Machiavelli was Niccolo.
Yes, was your reference?
It was my reference.
Okay.
Even later on again, Professor Boele Guillaume came up and asked me to change to Jean-Jacques Rousseau.
Okay.
I told him no. I told him that I prefer Machiavelli because the system in place is Machiavellic, and I want to see how it will end.
Yes. That's very interesting. And you maintain your position.
I maintain my position.
I see till today.
Today.
Wow.
And that's why we have been watching up to see how the system in play will end.
That's true. Let's keep praying and let's hope that
the things will
something positive
comes out there. Exactly.
So, dear viewers, this was a scientific investigation research on Professor Fonlon, who is considered as a philosopher. That was why it was of primordial and capital importance to lecture one of the to lecture someone who is an expert in philosophy, like our senior lecturer Alemkeng Richard. He has had a lot of experience in philosophy. He has written many books. I would like our senior lecturer to tell us where we can get his books.